so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you.
Open. If Mazen Nandekan was about the new dimension cannot take effect properly. Because all these saboteurs you see today, this department of saboteur, they will still be there pushing out blackmails, propaganda. And that is what they are good at doing. That is what they have been doing all this while, for more than a decade that they are in their struggle. What they do is that when they see somebody who has a tangible contribution to make, because they see that that person has more wisdom than they are, they begin to see that person as a threat. Once they see somebody who knows better than them, they begin to see that person as a threat. This is what has been existing in IPOB for a very long time. And I can tell you, I repeat it again, many intelligent people have joined IPOB in the past and they disappeared because of what they saw. Because of the lies, the propaganda that was brought against them by these idiots today that Mazi Samuel have sacked. These people that have been pushed aside today, that Biafran people have denounced. The only job they had all this while was just propaganda. And what do? They cover the whole places as if they're going to offer anything. Nothing to offer. All they do is to hinder people. All they do is to cage Mazen Nandekano and make sure he doesn't make progress. That's what they have been doing. Passing wrong informations. This is the only thing they are good at. With nothing to offer. Every achievement that has been made from the time Mazen Nandekano began to pursue this Biafra up to today has been only his own initiative and wisdom. His initiative and wisdom. Every progress that was made is by him. And when he wants to take the bold step, they will fight and make sure they stop him. Anytime he wants to take the bold step, they will fight him and make sure they stop him. This has been going on for so many years. So many years. That was why at the dying minute, Mazen Nandekan had no choice but to cry. He cried and cried for Chukwu Karema. We cried. Go and listen to that very broadcast again. Where Mazen Nandekan was asking and saying, are there no more men in Biafra land? And I tell you, it was after that very tears of Mazen Nandekan that Chukwu Karema answered him. And do you know how he answered him? Chukwu Karema answered him by taking him away to allow Mazen Samanapa to come in to clear the road for the Biafra coming. And then Mazen Nandekan will come up and raise the flag. Chukwu Karema left him there. He left Mazen Nandekano to be taken away so that Mazen Samanapa can be able to defeat all these evil men sitting around, expose them so that Biafran people will know who they are dealing with. That was the major assignment of Mazen Samanapa. One of the major assignments of Mazen Samanapa was to expose the corrupt people among the IPOB members. Those who were claiming to be Biafra, those who were claiming to be Apple, those who were hiding at the back of oath. Today you no longer see them today talk about oath. You no longer see them boast about oath. Initially, what they do is that before you make any comment, they ask you, have you taken an oath? Have you taken an oath? That is the first question. They will ask you, are you a member of IPOB? You tell them you are a member of IPOB. They ask you, have you taken an oath? Oath now become a standard for them. Oath now become an umbrella for them to hide and cover their evil. Today, the same people who took oath, every single one of them that took that oath in that time, they are all deceivers. They are all deceivers today. They are the same people that sold Mazen Nandekano out. From their top to the bottom. Up to the deputy of Mazen Nandekano. And along the line, the deputy, didn't the deputy take the oath? The deputy of Mazen Nandekano, didn't he take the oath? He took the oath. But even with that same oath, he fell out. So many of them who took an oath, who were broadcasting them, they took the oath. But they all do what? They fell out. And today, somebody will begin to open mouth and talk about oath. That is why I love Mazen Samanapa. He broke the whole standard. He broke all those evil standards and began to lay a new foundation. Today, the oath you have to take is your conscience. If you are truthful, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. As simple as that. We are not idiots. Every one of us have common sense. When somebody is lying to you, you don't need a prophet to tell you that this person is lying. All you need to do is to apply your common sense. Listen carefully to that very person. You will know if he's lying or not. Don't get loose because somebody tells you that he took an oath. Do not allow somebody to abuse you or bamboozle you simply because he told you he took an oath or deceive you. You don't leave yourself unguarded because somebody tells you that he took an oath. People who didn't even took the oath today are performing wonderfully well, more than those that took the oath. People who did not take that oath, they are playing a major role today, more than those who did not take the oath. Look at the ESM fundraising. The ESM fundraising you have been seeing all this while. Most of the achievements have been made today in IPOB. Many of them didn't go through any oath. Many of them did not go through any oath. They only came out through their sincere heart, from the bottom of their heart, from the inner stomach. That is where their love for Biafra came, and they are doing what they're supposed to do. Master Simon came and tore all those nonsense together. Even when he came in, they tried to use that same oath issue. They want to use it to chase Master Simon away or begin to create barrier. Master Simon still took the oath under the command of Master Nnamdi Kanu. Under the direction and command of Master Nnamdi Kanu, our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, the current Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, he took that oath. He took the oath, but he started off without the oath. He started off without even the oath. He began to broadcast before Master Nnamdi Kanu caught his attention. Before Master Nnamdi Kanu discovered him, he didn't just go straight to approach Master Nnamdi Kanu. He was on his own broadcasting, talking about Biafra issue, and he was discovered. And then Master Nnamdi Kanu directed him to take an oath, and he took the oath. Before Master Nnamdi Kanu was now taken away from us. And on this, in his own present regime now, where we have our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, as the person today running the affair of the actualization of Biafra, we don't talk about oath or no oath. It is not oath that will make you a member of IPOB. Even if there will be oath, not in membership of IPOB, being a membership for you to be a member of your own country, that you must take an oath. Is that not madness? If it will be a very sensitive section, or there are a certain group, or there are certain issues that want to, that one is understandable. Maybe there's an organization, or there's an issue, or there's a panel you want to host, and then you want to engage people on oath on that one. It's a different thing. But for you to say that the whole of Biafran people must take an oath for them to be Biafra, you are senseless. I don't buy that. I don't know where such idea is coming from. I don't know why anybody will buy into such idea. And the funniest thing is that every single one of them who was preaching oath, go and check them. They have all betrayed Master Nnamdi Kanu. Most of them are even fighting him. Some of them were people who took oath, even in the name of Master Nnamdi Kanu. The name of Master Nnamdi Kanu included in some of their oaths. And yet today, they are fighting him head on, speaking against him. Speaking against Master Nnamdi Kanu and his family. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. The same way they came when they were preaching the command and control. When they were trying to stop Master Simon Ekpa from doing what he's supposed to do. They came in with command and control. It was through command and control. When they wanted to hijack the platform of Master Simon Ekpa. They wanted to take the stage from him. They wanted to make sure he doesn't speak. They wanted to control everything he wants to say. Then they begin to talk about command and control. And when you hear them talk about command and control, you think that they are saying it with good intent. Our supreme leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, introduced command and control with good intent. Our supreme leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, introduced command and control with good intent to make sure that the Biafrans are united, following orders. To make sure that information is sinking down. To make sure there is rule of law, obedience and understanding. That was the intent of Master Nnamdi Kanu. But what did you see? When they begin to talk about the command and control after the Kidama was in Ghana, it was to intimidate Biafran people. It was to cage Biafran people. It was to show their strength and aggrandizement. It was to lord themselves over people. That was the only intention they had. But you know Biafran people, you can't put Biafran people in your pocket. You cannot pocket any Biafran. Biafrans are too good to be pocketed. They are too smart and too bold to be pocketed. You can't pocket any Biafran. And on that same aspect, look at every one of them who was talking about command and control today. Every one of them that have preached about command and control, check today, where are they today? Where are they today? The people who has been talking about command and control, this and that, where are they today? Every one of them today have disobeyed the highest command, which is Mazen Nandekan. The highest command. Immediately he was kidnapped, they begin to disobey him. Starting from the first instruction he gave, the first direct instruction he gave, let Mazen Simon Ekpa pilot the affair of IPOB until I come back. They refuse. Let Mazen Simon Ekpa speak to Biafran people on Biafran station. They refuse. They begin to challenge that order. So many other memos have come. They challenge it. Mazen Nandekan sent a memo that every single person that he has brought into IPOB, every single person has been appointed, must not be sacked. That nobody has any right to sack anybody that he put into position. What did they do? They violated that order. They violated that order. And they continue to sack right, left, and center, creating chaos, problem everywhere. Up to the extent of attacking the family of Mazen Nandekan. And these are the people who claim to be following orders. These were the people who were disturbing us with command and control for their own selfish gain. When it favors them, they command and control. When it doesn't favor them, they don't command and control. But I thank Chukwu Kabiam that just as Mazen Simon Ekpa told them, he did it. Mazen Simon Ekpa told them, I will be your end. I will chase you out of IPOB. And when he was saying that, so many of us thought it was a joke. When Mazen Simon Ekpa was saying that, many of us thought it was a joke. But finally today, are you still going to see that as a joke? Come on. Of course, you know it's not a joke. Every single one of them today is gone. The only man standing today speaking for the Biafra people is our spokesperson, Mazen Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile. In the situation that we are now, it is not a time to begin to seek for any pity party or whatever. We have to stand up and fight to get our nation. And we are lucky. We got somebody. We are lucky. We are not. Chukwu Okame blessed. I say that Chukwu Okame will never leave his own children without a leader. He will never ever leave his children without a leader, no matter how bad they are. And when it comes to that leadership, he has been providing it for us. From our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu. He provided him for us. Owazirike came online and played his own role and he left. Our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekan, was there, consistent and strong. Up to today, he's still there. And finally, today we have our spokesperson, Mazen Simon Ekpa. And when you look at the credential of Mazen Simon Ekpa, look at his credentials, you will be definitely convinced that he is the right man. It is only a clown, only an envious and jealous clown, only an irresponsible people. Those are the people who are going to be looking down on Mazen Simon Ekpa. If you still have your common sense, every man knows the person who is greater than him. Every one of us men, we know, when we see our fellow men who is greater than us, we know. No matter how you pretend, you know. And when you look at Mazen Simon Ekpa and his credentials and what he's doing, it is only a clown that will continue to challenge him and to a wrestling bout. He's equal to the task, both internationally and locally. He's equal to the task. To any level you want it, he's equal to the task. Look at the diplomatic moves he's making. Look at the diplomatic international moves he's making on different angles. Look at the wave he's pulling. All these people who have been claiming to be with Mazen Nandekan for donkey years, how many of them were able to pull waves the way Mazen Simon Ekpa is doing today? All of them that are making noise, some of them who said I've been with Mazen Nandekan for donkey years, and those today who are trying to brag and raise shoulder to challenge Mazen Simon Ekpa. First of all, you have to show us your credentials, show us your capability and capacity. Then we can be able to begin to look at you. Show us what you're made of. Starting from the area where you are, any part of the world where you are, tell us what you are doing and the effect you are having in the government of that very country that you are in. That is the first place to start. What is the effect you're having, even not even in the central government, in the locality where you found yourself? What effect are you making? You that want to come and brag, you want to parade yourself to challenge Mazi Simon Ekpa. You want to say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not qualified. He's not qualified to be Biafra spokesperson. He's not qualified to be Biafra prime minister. Who else is more qualified than him? Who else? Just mention one person. If you know anybody that is more qualified than him, write it at the comment section and tell me. If you feel that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not qualified for the position he's occupying today, write it at the comment section. Even though he didn't push himself to it, it fell on him. The mantle fell on him, and it fell on him, and he is more than qualified. He was very much available. I'm not telling you there are no educated people in Biafra land. Biafran people have educated men scattered all over the world. People who are much more educated than Mazi Simon Ekpa. They are scattered all over the world. But when you talk about the Biafran struggle commitment today, in the commitment, how many of them have the balls to come out and speak? How many of them have the balls to present the case of Biafra to the government where they are? We have so many Biafrans in different countries. In their politics, it's not only Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland. Mazi Simon Ekpa is just one of them. We have so many Biafrans in the United States who are politicians, who are participating, who has positions in their areas in one place or the other. We have them in Britain. We have them in so many European countries. Biafrans who are citizens, who are participating, who are politicians participating with the government. But how many of them can take the case of Biafra to their government? None of them. The only man that we have seen it clearly, unhidden, in the open, the whole world knows about it, his country knows about it, is Mazi Simon Ekpa. Taking the case of Biafra to the country where he belongs, up to their presidency. Took the case of Biafra. He dragged their media. The media spoke about issue of Biafra for more than a week. Papers we are writing about Biafra in Finland for more than a week. Who again has done it? Tell me. Just mention one person. If you know one person who has done similar thing, write it on the comment section. Have you heard of any person anywhere, even one person, who has done the same? And after seeing all these ways, still, some clowns will come out. The most laughable section of the people are those ones who say that he's working for Nigerian government. These are the clueless ones. The most clueless people, the most clueless Biafrans are those ones who open their mouth and say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for the government. Once you hear that from you, I don't have any need to begin to argue with you. I don't have any need to engage you in any talk or argument, because I know you don't. It's either you are mentally derailed, it's either you are mentally sick, or maybe you are just pretending. You just want to be noticed. I don't respond to such people. Those who say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for the government. Today, Mazi Simon Ekpa is the greatest threat the government of Nigeria has. The number one threat they have today is Mazi Simon Ekpa. And in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, that is where they are going to get the end of it. Mazi Simon Ekpa is the coming of Biafra. Mazi Simon Ekpa is the coming of Biafra. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nande, cannot have done his own job. The lonely voice in the wilderness. For more than a decade. For more than a decade. The voice in the wilderness shouting, prepare you the way. We must go. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Mazi Nande Kanu did a marvelous work to clear the road. For more than a decade. Crying, shouting, with all the attack, propaganda and blackmail, up to the extent of giving his own life, the life of his parents, he was still preaching the gospel. The most difficult aspect of it. Mazi Nande Kanu played the most difficult aspect of the role. Do you know what it is? You know what it means to convince a Biafran man to listen to you? Do you know what it means to convince a Biafran man to start thinking in a certain way? A Biafran, more especially the Igbo Biafra. Do you know what it takes to convince an Igbo Biafra to sit with you and begin to listen to what you're saying? It's not a child's play. It's not a child's play. The Igbo Biafrans, mainly, they are the most difficult people for you to to twist or to change or to convince. But when you finally succeed, they will be with you for the rest of your life. You have not to worry. Once you prove yourself capable, the Biafrans, more especially the Igbo Biafrans, they will support you to the sky. No going back. Mazen Nandekano did the most difficult job. The most difficult job. We have been hearing for a very long time. But Mazen Nandekano proved that very word wrong and let them know that Igbo Mwereze. Igbo Mwereze. He didn't crown himself. Today, I can tell you, even the traditional rulers, they confess to the fact that Mazen Nandekano today is leading, is the one, is the voice in Biafra land. It is difficult to find any Biafran today, anybody from the old South instead of making a statement without putting Mazen Nandekano into it. When you talk about the person who enjoys popularity, who enjoys obedience, who enjoys the presence, the support of the people. When you talk about the only person that enjoys the support of the people is Mazen Nandekano. He earned it. He didn't command it. He didn't force it. He earned it by his attitude and his work. He started from the grassroots, talking on a daily basis, just as we are doing today, until he got to where he is. And today you can see Master Simon Ekpa taking the same step. Master Simon Ekpa is not forcing anybody. He's not attacking anybody. In fact, he comes online to beg, stop attacking me. Stop attacking me. I am not your enemy. At a stage, he will say, I don't want to use my strength for you. I have a better enemy to fight. My strength is to rescue Biafra. My strength is to rescue my people. My strength is to fight against the enemy of Biafra. He says it time and time again. He begs people, don't fight me. Master Simon Ekpa is focused on winning the heart of Biafran people. And I can tell you, he is succeeding. He is succeeding within a shortest space of time. Within the shortest space of just 2009. 2019, no, from 2019. Check how many years, from 2019 to now. He has made tremendous, he has gained a whole lot of support within a short space of time. All those ones who has been donkey years in IPOB with big titles. All the ones in IPOB with social big, giving themselves big titles. Department of Saboteurs. What have they achieved? Who knows them? People you don't even know their identity. We don't even know their picture. We don't even know whom they are. For more than a decade, you are hiding under the keyboard and you say you're fighting. I know Mazen Nandekano, the supreme leader of IPOB. So when he talks, I know who is talking. I know his family, I know his brothers. I know Mazen Simon Ekpa. The rest of them who are hiding, who are they? Who are they? Who are they? And yet you come to challenge and you want to convince Biafran people. Master Simon Ekpa is not commanding anybody or pushing anybody. He's taking his time to win the soul of Biafra, and I bet you he has won the soul of so many people. He has won the heart of many Biafrans. Finally, Biafrans have realized that this is the only voice they had. After Mazen Nandekano was taken away, all hope we are lost. People fell sick. Some thought that Biafra is gone and gone. People began to cry. People began to lament. That what are we going to do? That Biafra is gone. How are we going to get back to Biafra? How can we be able to get back our Biafra? People were crying from different angles, shouting, lamenting, thinking that everything is gone. Until Master Simon Ekpa surfaced. The game changer. The game changer, when he entered, everything changed. They attacked him and pushed him and pushed him. They couldn't succeed. Today, here are we. Moving to Biafra with speed. Heading to Biafra with speed more than ever. And in that way, it will continue. Nobody's going to stop us from getting to Biafra. You can't stop us, no matter how you try. The coming of Biafra will come like Mazen Nandekano described it, that it will come in such a way that nobody will take the glory. You can't believe it. All you will say is that it's only Chukwu Okikabia made it possible. That is how the coming of Biafra will be. It will come in such a way that you cannot be able to explain. That is why some of them, when we say that Biafra is coming, when Master Simon Ekpa gave the countdown and they are busy talking trash and talking rubbish. Some of them we are expecting that after the countdown, oh, we begin to burn houses, we begin to destroy lives, we begin to engage in the public, we begin to cause chaos everywhere. That is what the idiots had in mind. Those senseless ones who doesn't have focus, that's what they had in mind. But you can see after the countdown, from then till now, haven't you seen some development? Haven't you seen a roadmap? Haven't you seen so many things being activated which have been in place? Biafra is a process. And we have started that process of recovering our land. And we will continue to go engage in that process until every inch of Biafra land is recovered. Today we have a government. If you want to talk to Biafra, you know where to refer them to. If the Biafra want to engage international community today, they have a source to engage international community. If the Biafra want to sit on the table with the United Nations, they have an office. If Biafra want to write, they have a headline, they have a place to write. If you want to talk about Biafra, if they will manage themselves now, today Biafra have a government in exile. And that shows that Biafra is a nation that is in occupation. That is number one thing you must have to prove. That your land is in occupation and you want it back. And we have proven that. That Biafra is a land that is in occupation. And we want to make sure we recover that land that is in occupation. That the people want to go back home. Just as you see them so many countries in the world where they're doing their people occupy. You see Russia today. Yeah, every one of them is shouting against Russia that Russia is trying to occupy Ukraine. You see them sometimes they blame Israel for occupying some land. They blame so many people. That is the same thing that is going to happen in Israel. We are making it clear to them that our own land is under occupation. And our own is even much more clear than any one of them you can point out. In our own case, it is much more clear than any other of these nations where they are talking about occupation. Biafra land have been under occupation for many, many, many years. Occupation and exploitation. And even up to this moment, lives are being lost simply because they are Biafrans. People are being intimidated simply because they are Biafrans. Even when the Biafrans try to get into the election to see if they can be able to change, it gets worse. Look at the kind of dehumanization, the kind of life we lost and properties that were lost, all in the name of election. And even up to today, they are still using the same derogatory language against the Biafran people. If you are a Biafran, you dare not make a statement in the control corner. Once you make a statement and you are a Biafran, they will going to try. They will shoot that statement out of proportion. They will push it in such a way that it will seem as if that thing had not been said in the planet Earth before. Look at Walose Inca. Walose Inca, who is coming to condemn those who are talking about recovering their mandate. Even though we are not part of it, we don't support it, we are not part of it, we are not part of Nigeria, only thing we focus on is Biafra. But even in that sense, Walose Inca came out and he was talking trash. This same Walose Inca was the same person who went